Welcome back, y'all, to another race. We're here at Spa in the Gr3s. I set this race up for a scenario about a comment I got. Now, I've not had good or bad comments. I'll work on here as long as they're respectful, because that's what we do these for. We want the input. That helps, how we do our content. That helps all the way around, because at the end of the day, we do is just to get reactions from y'all, because that's what it's all about. Getting to know different cultures, different type of people, and learning from everybody. That's what I do it for. So everything is recommended here. Bring it on, as long as you keep it PG, because there's kids on here. Now on Twitch, let it fly. If they're on that channel at late at night, there's a problem there anyway. So I don't get on Twitch often though. Now that scenario that's talking about, when I was calling close racing, I was hanging back. I don't know if I already said this or not, but I was staying back about 2 car lengths on 2 cars that was battling. Now it was just me and them 2 cars, and was coming up close to the final laps, and I was really low on fuel. Tires was about half shot, but I still had speed coming out most of the turns, and they was battling pretty hard. But now, like I said, I was about 2 cars back, and I called it close racing. Now we put titles up just to get reaction from you. Heck, I put titles up and then I'll put something else on the short that's opposite from the title, just to get a reaction for it. I mean, that's just the name of the game. Comedy, being goofy racer like I am. Whoa, no, snap. But anyway, before, I've done racing, as my younger days. The kind of racing I did was drag racing. I grew up around junkyards and garages my whole life, car lots. I learned how to work on cars before I even know how to drive one. But I learned how to drive on a farm, literally. And it's straight shift back then, when everything was basically straight shift. Whoop, dude, you gone. But right now we're pretty close to what that is, but we got a lot of cars around. Now I was hanging back about probably as far, following them 2, waiting on them to either make a mistake or wait on a good opportunity to overtake. And plus I was saving power, fuel, because I was in their slipstream, so I could, slingshot around them once they made a mistake easily. But this person was a real race car driver, they say, and said this right here was close racing. Let me get up here and do it. Nope, he's gone. I'm following him. We ain't doing that. Ain't that wild? He just went right off track, and I just followed right along with him. But anyway, basically what he was considering close racing is when you take your nose and you stick it right up under their tail, and you hang out there. That's drafting, and you're putting havoc on that driver in front of you. I mean, major havoc. You're causing his car to get really twitchy and move around and get loose. He's not gonna like it, or she's not gonna like it very well, but that's racing, and I get that. But once you're stuck at close to another car, you can't make a move real quick. They make a mistake, 9 times out of 10, if that mistake's real bad, you're going with them. Wait a minute, we want to set this up. But while you're stuck as close to that car, in real life car, now I am a mechanic more than I ever raced any kind of cars or trucks, because that's what I did, mainly trucks, little trucks, which we done some. Oh crap, I smashed him. But you're going to lose power being it's tied up on a car, because your car temperature is going to start rising. And plus, you can't make, like I say, you can't jump out and do an overtake real quick. because you're stuck so close to them, you have to let out of it and then get back in it again. But if you hang back here like so, get that slingshot off from them, you can jump out around them and get that slingshot. But like I say, I put that title up. Now there are some close racing going on in that race that I did. The final lap, we're coming into the last turn at Magello, and it's right before you get to the checkered flag as you come around that hard left-hander. It's a fast, hard left-hander. I think we was going into 3 wide, coming in there side to side, and I was stuck in the middle. Now, I'm not saying that I've done so many races. I ain't revisited the whole race yet on that point, but from memory, I'm thinking that's how it went down. I mean, if you hadn't seen the video, it's on here. It was at Magello. I ain't raced there since that race, so I don't think, but I like that track. I just got that track probably a few months ago, and then I done that race. And I was basically playing cat and mouse with the cars, what I call it, what we call it around here, where you stay back in enough distance from them when you know you got power, you got car control, and you got 2 battling, so you're just waiting them out. And while you're waiting them out, as long as they got pace, you're putting your same lap times down and keeping pace and saving fuel all at the same time. Now I'm gonna try to get him right here. But in that race, I think I hunted them down, and I was trailing them for maybe a lap, half a lap. Then I went for the overtake on them, and I called it close racing. Yes, close racing is when you get stuck up and under one. Around here we call that drafting. But it's also called losing power and overheating your car. If you do it for a long period of time, you're going to have to check out, jump over to the side a little bit and get some fresh air, or your car's going to start losing power. But we're going to try to go on a move here. That was tight as bit. He made sure I got stayed against that wall pretty tight, but he didn't get into me. Now that's cool racing. Now I like racing, tight racing with people. Now if you do that crap on these digital racing, it's digital racing here, y'all. Now online, you get too close to another car, you don't have to touch them. You're gonna go spinning off the track, most likely. Especially if their internet, you know, has a little problem. You gotta check them out. I'm gonna give up here and tighten up on them. That ain't really punting him. I'm giving him a little taste and letting him know I'm here. That's rubbing, y'all. What we call around here. A little door banging's good. Whoop, he come way over here and I'm in the marbles. But this is just a 15-minute race, so I'm gonna try to get on the move here. We're after that in-game credits. That car I built the other day, that little blue car, I probably put a couple million game credits in it to build that little car. That thing is major fast for that little thing. That's why I like these games. You know, you can set up any kind of race. I mean, the game itself sets up some pretty good races for you. But there's more cars and a lot of tracks on here than the races get set up, you know. But it's up to you to create that stuff, you know, so that's why I like it. I mean, I'm at 48%, level 48 on here, I think. I've been playing it for about 6-7 months. And there's still a lot of races on here that, you know, where you gotta go for gold on the, you know, the inline, on the, when you're playing game mode. That's what I play a lot, because I am a gamer. Try to be. Goofy gamer, but you know. Before computers come out, our game systems back in the late 70s and early 80s when I was a kid was a lot better than what any kind of computer we had at the time. I mean floppy disk computers. Man. Try to have a phone call and private call with your girlfriend on the phone. You had this cord that stretched around everywhere. You know, there's some things today I like compared to them, but I tell you what, our country lost one thing today that it had then that I wish it still had, and that was respect and honor. We're losing that really bad here. I mean, people in the streets disrespecting people, and you know, calling it protesting free speech, but you know, when you're committing a crime, that's exactly what it is, a crime. And I was raised, you know, when you get up in the morning, you put your feet on the ground, you walk out the door 1 foot in front of the other, and you try to be better. We did it again. You tried to be better than you were the day before. You know, and it'll make you a happier and better person for that. You know, if somebody around you's doing something you don't like, don't be around them. Simple and easy as that. We got a big old country here, plenty of places. You know, there's actually places in the Midwest that nobody even live in. I mean, they're huge places. I don't know why it's like that. You know, since the internet come out, I've learned a lot, even about my own country. And I was a history, and I loved history and science, social studies, English, and all that other stuff. It bored me. I have this whatever I can't remember what they call it, but basically, if I got bored, I got distracted. I didn't like it, so I didn't deal with it. Back then, they just called it me being a little punk. You know, they called it that. That's what they did. You know, now they got 3 or 4 letter words for it all, and they got a medication for it. For me, to escape it and to calm my nerves and to chill out and get some serenity, I started playing games of all kinds. And I learned by doing these games, it keeps your muscle and your memory and your stuff pretty good. That's all just me rambling on about my thoughts now. But when I used to race, we kind of just raced like in the mid-80s. We was taking, and now like I say, I grew up in junkyards and garages around car lots my whole life. So I was a mechanic first, but we'd get in there and we'd take an old junker and we'd get that thing souped up and we'd race it. You know, we'd have little special races around the counties and tri-city areas. You know, just what you could throw together. We didn't put $100,000 or millions of dollars in them. We just threw some really fast cars. It was basically street car, heavy as a street car, and we'd drag race them. And then when that got born, we got a little older, we started getting into the little trucks and small cars, you know. Mine and my cousin's thing was Dodson trucks. We'd lower them, soup them up real fast, make them look good. Now I always kept mine kind of plain like I do my race cars here, you know, just solid, you know, kind of keep them street looking. But we'd beef them up. We had these races that was basically like your time attack or your rally race, that kind of deal. There's some roads here in the mountains of East Tennessee that go, you know, into North Carolina and Kentucky. They're mountain roads. Curvy is crap. And at night time, well heck, sometimes during the day you can drive that road 50 times and never see another car. So we used to do it late at night in these little low riders, Nissans, Toyotas, Mazdas, you know, you name it, they was there. Some cars. I think the longest road we had was coming out of Newport into North Carolina, and it's like 12, 13 miles back then. And you didn't do no door-to-door racing in it. It was basically who crossed the finish line the first, fastest, you know, time tag or rally, what they call it nowadays, I guess. Them little trucks, He was wicked. And I'm talking about 4-cylinders now, back in the day. Now Nissans are still fast, but them older model Datsuns had a motor that was unreal in them. You could treat them real bad, and they'd take it. The more you hammered into them, the more they'd take it. I literally had one when I was a freshman in high school. I lived 3 miles from school. It took 2 quarts of oil to get there. Took 2 quarts of oil to get back. That thing would kill flies in the background. So I got to where I could take a motor out of them little Datsuns. Now them little motors was small. The transmissions was actually bigger than the motor. But I could unbolt that thing, reach in there and grab a hold of it, pick it up, set it up on the bench, tear it down, put a kit in it, throw it back in the truck, take it racing that night. I had a Mazda truck one day. Somebody betted me $200 that I could put a new crate engine in it and drive it down the road before dinner. And it was 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, back then I was pretty froggy about everything, and I was a pretty decent shade tree mechanic. I was never a professional at anything. I'm just a tinker of everything, as they call it. But we could throw that. I threw that thing up on the thing, put the daggone, took the hood off from it, pulled that engine out, took the crate engine out. Now on the crate engine I had to put the head and, you know, the whole top half on it. They just got the short block. Put all them parts on it, got it all on time, stuck it in it, and at 11:15 we went to the restaurant and got some food. But back then, that's how simple they were. Now, it'd take a half a day to just get the stuff around the engine off before you work on them. I know I work on a lot of them. You know, and I've learned 90% of stuff they put on them is useless. A lot of it is. You got a sensor that protects the sensor, and it protects that sensor. It's just a bunch of money. But anyway, y'all, 5th place. I hope y'all appreciate this race, and yes, it's just goofy digital racing, but I appreciate y'all. Thanks to all you new subscribers. Hit that like button, and the ones that's watching that and subscribed, I appreciate if you would. It's free, it don't cost a thing. Until next time, keep it groovy, y'all.